Hello, people. Right, so the trial of the century, not the century, for hip hop anyway. Obviously, I'm a lover of hip hop. Obviously, music of people of African descent in the Americas, and it's spread worldwide. But basically, P Diddy. Now, P Diddy is a great producer. Bad Boy Records. There's so many different artists that have been on Bad Boy Records. Yeah, I can't. You know what I mean? His music catalog speaks for itself. Yeah. There's one track that he dropped on his Love album last year. Brought the Love. Great track. I I had to buy it. I bought it on my Spotify account. When you buy it, pay my £10 monthly subscription for Spotify. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, but there's been some terrible allegations about P Diddy. So basically, he's supposed to be a PDF file, which is fiddling with little people, i.e., little people that are not of age. So he's been accused of that. He's been found to be a woman beater, beating his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura. Yes, and we saw that in the hotel hallway. He denied it first, but then the camera footage leaked, and there we saw him just treating her like she was some type of ragdoll. Do you know what I mean? It was sad. It was pitiful, man. It was sad. But there's a lot of things about. There's many things about. For one, P Diddy's father was an associate of Frank Lucas, who is like the godfather of Harlem. And Frank Lucas is the man that the American Gangster film with Denzel Washington was based on. Yeah, and basically P Diddy's father was a rat in it. He ratted out his criminal associates, and that's how he got killed, killed or assassinated and stuff like that. So P Diddy's father was a gangster. He was a drug dealer. Do you know what I mean? So it's no surprise that like father like son, isn't it? Now another thing that I want to tell you is that P Diddy went to a Roman Catholic boys' school, yeah, and this boys' school had priests that were accused of being PDF files, yeah, and were taken to court for um, hurting minors. Yes, I can't say all the words because the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. But yes, and you can find the court papers for the priests that at the P Diddy school the school that P Diddy went to, not the school that he started, but the school that he went to in the 80s, the boys' school. The court papers are available online. So at the time he was attending his school as a teenage boy, those certain priests at that school were being accused of being a PDF file and messing about with the children there. Do you know what I mean? And that years later, the court was taken. It was taken to court. So I remember in 2009, Professor Griff from Public Enemy outed um, what you call it, Will Smith, Quincy Jones, and P Diddy as being gay. Yeah, but I think what they actually are is bisexual, and he talks about the homosexual ritual in Hollywood and the entertainment industry to get people to do like a homosexual ritual in order for them to get fame and fortune, etc., etc. And you know, Professor Griff said, I'll put a link to the video. These are all the links will be in the description bar. So basically, he's basically saying that the powers that be or try. Obviously, the hip hop community is black in it. Black people started it, um, and homosexuality is not it's not condoned in the black community. If people are doing it, you got to keep that shit on the down low. Do you know what I mean? You can't be no flag bearing, waving, friend of Dorothy. That's not, you got to keep that shit on the down low. Yeah. Because most black people are into the Abrahamic religions, whether it's Islam or Christianity or Judaism, which say, no, man can't lay with man. Do you know what I mean? Woman can't work with woman. You know what I mean? It's an abomination in the Abrahamic religions. Yeah. So now, so basically, so all these bisexual men, like these alleged bisexual men, like P Diddy, Will Smith, Quincy Jones, they got to keep it on the down low in the black community. So they're basically saying that the gay mafia, the pink mafia, in the white community, i.e. the mainstream community, they're trying, obviously now they've spent in the West, they spent a lot of time trying to get white folk to accept homosexuality, and so now a lot of the white homosexual men, they've got power now in it. So now they're trying to get into the black community in the homosexual and push this homosexual and to legalize it. And we see white Western countries like Britain. Britain threatened Uganda when Uganda wanted to bring in an anti-homosexual law, and they withdrew the British embassy from Uganda because Uganda refused to get rid of the anti-homosexual law. So anyone from Uganda who wanted to visit Britain had to go to South Africa to get a visa to visit Britain. So that's what one has to understand, that there's countries like Britain, United States of America, that are blackmailing certain African countries to legalize homosexuality, and if they don't, they withdraw aid. That's what's going on basically. So it's very similar in the music and hip hop community. They are white people who are like homosexuals or bisexual, who are obviously they like basically like a lot of these black so-called black music companies, the head of it is not black. So for example, like Sony is like the top of Sony will be like a white person, or the very top of Sony is a Japanese person, because Sony's owned by Japan, in it. Do you know what I mean? And then all these other different companies, Astra Records, all these different ones, Columbia Records, they're all owned by white folk, yeah. And it's the gay mafia. The gay mafia want to make black people accept homosexuality. Now, I personally believe it's about them wanting to reduce the world's population. That's all this homosexuality is about. They don't care about homosexuals. What they care about is, it's about, because obviously if you're two men laying with two men, you can't have no children. And they're always like, first they tried it with the contraception, brought contraception in, and all that other stuff, and then obviously that's not bringing the world's population down enough. So now they're on the homosexuality, especially with Africa, because Africa, I think they say in 2050, 1 in 5 Africans is going to be a Nigerian. So they're really ramping it up. These eugenics people and these homosexuals, they're really ramping up the homosexual propaganda and stuff. Yeah. So obviously they're trying to do an overdrive, trying to get black people to accept homosexuality. And the fact of the matter is, homosexuality is part of the black community, because there are black people that are homosexuals. Do you know what I mean? Don't be blaming. I know a lot of these people in these conspiracies, like, don't be blaming white folk. I know there's quite a few black people that want to blame white folk for bringing homosexuality into the black community, but it's just not true. It's already well documented that there were certain, like, I know the king of Luganda, and Luganda is no, the Buganda is what the country Uganda is named after, and that guy was a homosexual. Do you know what I mean? He lay with man, so you can't blame. And he was ruling. Do you know what I mean? So you can't blame the British for the Buganda king being a homosexual. I think the same thing in South Africa. They've got one native king in South Africa that was a homosexual too. But the difference in homosexuality in Africa is people are not flag bearing, waving it, stuffing it, stuffing it in people's throats. The homosexuals are not trying to fucking run things and tell people how many children they can have and all that other stuff. If you're gonna do that, you gotta keep it in the bedroom. You can't be walking down the street, waving about two men and kissing up and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's not happening. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people who's gonna claim that homosexuality came because the white man came to Africa. No, it's not true. It was there were already African black men that were sleeping with each other before the white people came. Do you know what I mean? They're just in the minority. But the difference in Africa is it wasn't so widespread, and you didn't constantly hear about all this. You didn't hear them flag bearing. Don't have anything like gay pride and all this nonsense. You know what I mean? Talking like like they do here in the West and all that stuff. But anyway, so this is what it is. So obviously, if you're a homosexual, so P Diddy is an alleged bisexual. So he knows especially in hip hop, he knows in the black community, he can't come out and talk about he likes to lay with man. Do you know what I mean? He can't come out and do that, especially as hip hop and bad boy. It's a bad boy. As a rapper, you can't have a black gay rapper, man. Hell no, not at this time in the black community. But no one's gonna accept that. Do you know what I mean? So that's why he got keep that shit on the down low. Yeah. But now he's in league with these white homosexuals. You know what I mean? Because they got power. Now they've managed to convince the white people that they're not allowed to talk against homosexuality and they can't bring up religion. And white people got to shut up about being against homosexuality. Because it's no longer before. A couple of decades ago, homosexuality was classed as a mental illness in the DSM. The book of all mental illnesses, but then the homosexuals they did a lot of campaigning, and now they've taken it off. It's no longer classed as a mental illness, and they decriminalised it. So obviously these black homosexuals like P Diddy and allegedly Will Smith and Quincy Jones, that they're in league with the white homosexual men. That other guy, what's that guy? The white guy that's the head of Aristotle. I can't remember. Clive. Is it Clive Omens? Clive something. Let me try and find this guy as well, so people know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Clive. He's come out as bisexual as well, and they're basically saying that this guy, P Diddy, was doing, Clive Davis. Yeah, Clive Davis. He was giving him blowjobs and sex. That's why he backed Bad Boy Record. Yeah, this one. So this guy Clive. So this is what I mean by they're in league with the white homosexuals. Yeah. So this is what we call the Pink Mafia. Now, what you got to understand, even though I'm saying homosexuals, these men are not really homosexuals. They're what they call bisexual because they sleep with men and women. But anyway, so P Diddy, in order to get, homosexuals and men that took their dick and took their balls more accepted in the black community, they had to go and align themselves with powerful bisexual men like Clive Omens. So as you can see, so basically what they're saying is, Clive Omens bankrolled P Diddy, yeah, and it's men like him that are bringing, homosexual stuff into the black community to make it more mainstream. That's what they're doing. And it's very similar to Black Lives Matter, isn't it? Black Lives Matter, the people in Black Lives Matter are it's two lesbians, two black women that are lesbian, and one black woman that's not a lesbian. So when you look at what they're pushing, and you can see why they always go on about marginalized communities, black and brown marginalized community that are LGBTQ, because the founders of Black Lives Matter, the lesbians, so of course they want to be accepted, because black people are not accepting of lesbians either on the whole, yeah. So that's just what we've got to remember, yeah. So anyway, so basically, I've completely gone off. So this is about his trial, isn't it? Yeah. So I just wanted to give you that background to what's going on. Yeah. So another thing is P Diddy. I'll tell you another thing that P Diddy did. This is Clive Owens. He's like in '95 or something like that now. Yeah, but he's finally come out and said he's bisexual and he's in a relationship with a man after decades of not saying it and saying that he was a married man and stuff like that. So another thing that P Diddy did, this is what Professor Griff from Public Enemy is saying with the homosexual agenda and the bisexual agenda and the man that took their dick and took their balls agenda that's being brought into hip hop by people like Clive Owens and P Diddy. This P Diddy gave that that man that took his dick and took his balls from Orange is the New Black. What's the name now? What's his name? He's like a black man that now says he's a woman. Oh, I can't even remember. And she's all over the fucking place. She's all over the place. The post-operative man. I can't even remember. Oh, I can't remember what the person is. Orange is the New Black. Let me try to find out who Orange is the New Black. Is it a black? I'm trying to find it. Give me a moment. You know what I mean? Because I'm on my tablet as well. Orange is the New Black. Oh, Laverne, in it, Laverne. Yeah. So this is another thing that he's bringing in. P Diddy is bringing in transvestites, and he wants to make it acceptable in the black community. That's another thing, and he's using hip hop to do it. Now, I'm not going to talk about the, transsexual. I don't want to really talk about the rights and wrongs of it, because at the end of the day, they're both black people. They want to be accepted by their own community, the black community. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Personally, I don't like men that took their dick and took their balls and pretend to be a woman. But I do appreciate that if you're a black person and you are like that, you ain't gonna try. You don't want to hear about the heat from other black people. Yeah, this one. So he brought this person. I remember her doing this one. He, she, whatever his name is, Laverne Cox. Yeah, I remember her getting an interview with P Diddy, and she basically thanked P Diddy for giving him his first job. So this is what Professor Griff is talking about in the hip hop community, that these gays and these the black transgenders, the bisexuals like P Diddy, they're using hip hop to make their their chosen lifestyle accepted. That's what they're doing, and they're in league with the white homosexuals, yeah, too, like Clive Davis. So this is what we've got to remember now. This person looks like a man. This is clearly like a broad man. You clearly look like a man, yeah. But this is what they're saying now. You're not allowed to say too much about man that took his dick and took his balls. Yeah, they want to be called she, he. They say you got to call them she and stuff like that, because you got to worry about hate speech and yada yada yada. Now, I'm a believer. I do not believe in. You should not be physically attacking a man, a post-operative man, because he feels like a woman. Yeah, I don't believe in. That's a nice dress. It looked better on a real woman though. I don't believe in attacking people. I don't believe that this person is. I don't believe that you can change from a man to a woman, but you can do what the hell you want to do with your body as long as you're not doing it with minors. Yeah. If you want to be a science project, that's your business, isn't it? Yeah, that's your business. If you want to be a science project, that's your business, and it ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, so this is what we got to understand. This is the things that P did here, and the powers that be, and Clive Davis are doing. Yeah. Now I'll show you who exposed this, because Professor Griff has got a book. Let me give you. Let me give you. Let me show you who Professor Griff is, because I know not everybody's into hip hop. So Professor Griff is the guy from Public Enemy, like fight the power, fight the power that be. Yeah. So Professor Griff, no Professor Griff. Yeah. And he got removed from Public Enemy for he said something about Jews. Basically, he said something about the Jews. Yeah. So he's like an African American guy, but he's got a book on the covert war on hip hop and stuff. Now, there's certain things I don't agree with Professor Griff on, but I definitely agree with him saying that there is a homosexual ritual. Now, he's clearly stated that he's not against homosexuals. What he's saying is there's a homosexual ritual that you have to go through in order to get to a certain level in the entertainment industry. Yeah? And we've all heard of gay men that want to turn straight men gay. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of men that are gay in it. So a lot of them are lusting after straight men, and they do a lot of this coercion, like, you know, get them sleep with me, do this, you know what I mean, and I'll give you fame and fortune and blah blah blah. That's basically what, you know, the casting couch. That's what he's basically saying. But P Diddy is being accused of doing the casting couch for minors as well, isn't it? Because there's that one, like, I think one of the lawsuits, isn't it? One of them that he apparently, a 10-year-old went to audition, and this 10-year-old was forced to give P Diddy oral. That's what happened. Yeah, that's one of the things that P Diddy's accused of. So it's not just that he's bisexual, people, and he's been done for sex trafficking. It's that he's a PDF file. He's a PDF file, which is absolutely disgusting and despicable, man. It's one thing to be bisexual, and it's another thing to, if you want to tuck your dick and tuck your balls, but you got to leave the children alone. Do you know what I mean? You don't mess about with children in that way. But I honestly think he learnt this at his boys' Catholic school, because that school had priests that were accused of being PDF files and messing about with the children. So I think that's where he learnt that type of behaviour, to, you know, mess about with. If he did do it, that's unfortunately, that's where he learnt that behaviour. That's what I believe anyway. And I will try and put the links down to the court case of the school that this P Diddy went to as a child, where it will show you that they were accused of abusing children, the priests. Yeah. So this is what we've got to understand. There's certain things going on, and there's a lot of things to talk about. Now, another thing is, so now I'm showing you Professor Griff. Now, Professor Griff outed P Diddy in 2009 and Black and Noble's bookshop. He did a talk on hip hop, yeah, and it was filmed, the talk. I need to get this Professor Griff's book, to tell the honest truth. But yeah, so that's 2009. So they knew that this guy was bisexual, and they knew what he was trying to do in the hip hop community. He's basically trying to make black people accept homosexuality. But you know, that's an uphill struggle, because there's a lot of black countries where homosexuality is either the death penalty or 14 years in prison. So it's going to be an uphill struggle for homosexuality to be accepted in the black community. I tell you that now. And especially with the legacy of slavery, one of the things that the British slave masters did in like countries like Jamaica, was there were slave masters that were homosexuals. that were gay, and they were raping black men and black boys. That's what they were doing. They called it butt breaking. Yeah. So if some of these if the homosexuals, the black homosexuals want to be accepted, they've got to deal with their predators. This is one of the this and that goes for the white homosexuals too. All you gay man that going around raping other men and boys. You know, you've got to out these homosexuals. If you're homosexual and you're just doing that with a grown adult, consenting adults, then you should speak out against these gay men that are predators, that are PDF files and stuff like that. And then maybe people wouldn't be so against your lifestyle, your sexual preference. But if you're like, but there's too many of these homosexuals that they don't out the predators in their own community, so they all get labelled that way. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so now the court case has happened. Now let me go to Diddy's court case. Oh, honestly, Diddy's court case. Yeah. So because it's federal court, people. Yeah. They don't allow cameras, so we're getting the artist's impression of what's going on. So they're basically saying that his hair is turned white because they're saying that he's been dyeing his hair. Well, the guy's like 55, isn't he? So it's normal for a black person to have. Like, I've got grey hair, and I'm like, how old am I? I'm 46, yeah, but I've only got grey hair, a little bit of grey hair at the front. Majority of my hair is still very dark brown, really dark brown. I've got really dark brown hair, not true black, but a dark brown hair. Yeah, what with some people to think it's actually black. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So people are going. So, and as a member of the public, you can go in to the court. I don't know how you get it, but it's obviously there's a big queue as well and stuff like that. But there's certain YouTubes like Max who've been going into the court, watching the case, taking notes. That's what people are doing. So unfortunately, I would have loved to seen that trial, like seen that televised. But in federal court, they don't televise it. State court, they televise it, but federal court they don't. But anyway, he's accused of sex trafficking over state lines. So basically, let me explain how the American system works, because obviously a lot of my subscribers are British like me. They don't understand how the federal case works and state lines. So because it's a federation, so you cannot transport women across state lines. So if you're going from, say you're going from Illinois, yeah, and then you want to go to Dakota, you cannot purchase a woman and pay her for sexual favors and pay her taxi fare or her plane ticket or a Greyhound coach, or send a car for her to come and perform sexual favors for you. That ain't happening. Once you do that, that is what they call sex trafficking. Whether she was consenting or not, you cannot do that. It's called sex trafficking. So that's what he's been accused of doing. Now also, they're saying, another thing that they seem to be saying is, now lots of things have been coming out and stuff, but he was accused of having 1,000 bottles of baby oil. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Kelly Keen's streaming like 1,000 bottles of, so let me see if I can find a meme for 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Yeah. I remember the smell of baby oil. Does anyone remember the smell of baby oil? I remember that smell. But anyway, so the feds came out with pictures, yeah, and said that this brother, P. Diddy, he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like who in their right mind has 1,000 bottles of baby oil? The memes started coming out. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. People started saying stuff like, I heard that it was laced with GHB, which is it's supposed to liquid GHB, from what I remember, is supposed to paralyze you when it's rubbed on you. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's been accused of, lacing it with GHB. He's also been accused of mixing ketamine and all these other they drug in the drinks. So according to P Diddy's bodyguard, former bodyguard Gene Deal, he would put the drugs in the orange. That's what he was doing. He was putting it in the orange. He wasn't putting it in the alcohol. He was. But this is Gene Deal, very handsome black man as well, man. Very handsome man from St. Louis. St. Louis. Yeah. He basically said, yeah, this brother said that he was lacing it with drugs, and he would put it in the orange juice. And I've got to admit, and I'm thinking that even me, I would not think. Say if I thought someone was gonna spike my drink, you would think they would put it in the alcohol, wouldn't you? You would think that though. You would never think that they're gonna put it in the orange juice, yeah, in the soft drinks. But anyway, there's other people that have come out. Like there's a lady, a former whatchamacallit, assistant of Kanye West, has accused him of rape, with P Diddy being there as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of angles to cover, people. There's a lot of angles, but definitely check out Gene Deal's channel. He's got a YouTube channel, yeah, and Gene Deal talks about he's his personal bodyguard, yeah. So Gene Deal said they went shopping at the sex shop, the adult toy store, yeah, and that he saw Puff Daddy pick up a butt plug, and he went like this to Puff Daddy, "What do you need this for?" And then Puffy Dad went like this, "Can you let me just do my shopping?" Do you know what I mean? Obviously, because he knows man's bisexual, but he's just trolling him. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So he's just like, obviously he don't care. Not everybody cares. Like me, even me, I don't care. I know one or two gay or bisexual people, and I don't personally care. As long as you're not trying to promote it to minors and messing about with minors, that's your business, isn't it? Whatever tickles your fancy. But anyway, so in Kim Porter's book, in P Diddy's ex, who's sadly deceased, beautiful black woman, Kim Porter, she was a model, innit it? She used to be on the Relaxer Kits. I remember when she was on the Dark and Lovely Relaxer Kits. And anyway, so basically, who's that talking? Who's chatting on my phone, man? I'm trying to do my thing, man. Shut up, man. I'm trying to do my thing. Anyway, so this is Kim Porter. She died at 47. Allegedly, she wrote a book exposing P Diddy. Yeah. Because, they're saying that P Diddy allegedly was involved with the Biggie Smalls murder. Yeah. And the Tupac. Oh no, not the Biggie Smalls murder. The Tupac murder. That's another thing. That's one of the people that was in the car that where Tupac got shot. Alleged that he was paid $1 million to snuff out Tupac Shakur. Yeah. So this is Kim Porter, and Kim Porter, beautiful black woman. She's sadly deceased, but she wrote a book, and she exposed him in the book. Now the family came out and said the book is not real, but a lot of what she says makes sense. She made a lot of sense in that book. There's certain things in that book, and I'll put a link to a video of someone reading the whole book. It makes sense, yeah. But this guy is straight up gangster, straight up fucking gangster. This a dangerous guy, this P Diddy, yeah. Now, so this guy that's been arrested for killing Tupac Shakur. Now let me go to him. Keefy D. He'd been running around boasting about how he had Keefy D, Tupac. He had unalived Tupac, and every time you asked him where did it come from, where did the shot come from, it came from the back, yeah. So it's alleged that it was his Baby Lane, which is his nephew, that shot Tupac Shakur. But then Baby Lane died, I think, a year or two afterwards. It's either a year or two or a couple of months after killing Tupac, yeah. So there's like 4 people in the car, and Keefy D, this old man, he's the only one that's alive. Anyway, he's in jail now because the police, after 25 years, have finally arrested him on Tupac's murder. But this guy is a legend that Puffy paid no, not $1 million to kill Tupac. Yeah, that's what he's a legend. So this P Diddy this P Diddy is a dangerous man, very dangerous man. Yeah. So this guy Keefe D, he's fighting his case now. He got cancer and shit, but he is a career criminal and supposed to be high up on the upper echelons of the gangland in LA. I think he might be a Crip. Yeah, he's supposed to be a Crip. Yeah, so there's a lot of this entanglement, yeah. But anyway, Keefe D is a legend that there was another person that stole the 1 million check after Tupac was killed. He got shortchanged, yeah. Um, so in this court case, there's a lot of things that might come out in this court case, yeah. Um, but I would definitely recommend you read Kim Porter's book. Listen to the audio version of Kim Porter's book, man. If you're a hip hop fan and stuff like that. Follow Keefe D's interviews. I'll put a lot of links for all the people that are the hip hoppers like me, the fans of hip hop that are very interested. I don't know how long this has been going on for, but the trial, P Diddy's trial. So let's go to the key findings of the trial, the key points of the trial, because the trial's only day one. Yeah. Now this all started snowballing when Cassandra, Puff Daddy's former girlfriend, sued him, and he settled the case within a day, didn't he? He didn't leave no time. Yeah, that's the girl that he was beating. Beautiful girl, and she met him when she was 19. And she met him when she was 19 and he was 39. Now she's half Mexican, 25% African American, and I think 1% and 25% European. So she's really she's a mix, and no, she's not. It's not Mexican, is it? I think it's Filipino. I think she's Mexican Filipino. It's Mexican Filipino, African American. I can't quite remember if she's got European or not, but I definitely know it's Mexican. I think it's Mexican, African American, and Filipino. Yeah, that's what her racial heritage is. Anyway, so unfortunately she fell for it. Anyway, but so basically they were swingers, and he's into filming. I don't know why so many men want to. These freaks, men that want to see another man fuck their woman, they get off on that type of thing. You know, there's freaks like that, people. But anyway, one of the bodyguards basically said that when he tried to help Cassie, whenever P. Diddy got out of hand, she would run to P. Diddy and tell. That is why the bodyguards couldn't help Cassie, because she would just go running back to P. Diddy. And obviously, if P. Diddy found out that they're trying to help her get away from P. Diddy, they're going to lose their job and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of these battered women do, don't they? They run to their abuser when people are trying to help them. You know what I mean? So this is another reason why it went on for so long, because she was with him 10 years. Now, the guy that Cassie married was actually the personal trainer that P. Diddy hired to get her into shape. Could you imagine? He hired the personal trainer, and this guy swept Cassie off her feet and got away from P. Diddy, and now they've got 2 children and another one on the way. So that's funny as well. Do you know what I mean? And Cassie was quite a good singer as well. I remember 1 or 2 of her songs. Yeah, but he apparently applied her with drugs and all that stuff. Anyway, she's going to be testifying against him. Yeah? So that's one of the key points. Now, let me just read the key points before I finish this video. Let me just... Oh my god, what's going on? Why is all these key points, man? I don't even know. Yeah, let me see. Don't you hate when you get all these ads? It's not even going to let me do it, is it? Like, can you Can you? That's, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm trying to find the key points. The key points. 9 takeaways from the testimony, people. I should really blow my nose. So it's basically saying he's earned 3 Grammy winnings, 14 nominations. He's 55. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993. He's been under many names. Puff Daddy, Diddy. He's from a rap to an icon. He's done TV, acting, alcohol sales, fashion. He had that fashion brand, Sean John, didn't he? Anyway, he faced several civil suits alleging serious wrongdoing prior to his September arrest on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, and has been behind bars ever since. He's pleaded guilty to 5 counts. Pleaded not guilty. 1 count of racketeering and conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of transporting to engage in prostitution. If he convicted, he could face life in prison. It will not be televised per the rules of federal court. CM will report from the journalists inside and outside the court. I'm gonna have to blow my nose. Give me a moment, man. Sorry about this. Nature calls. I've got to blow my nose because I feel really blocked up. Anyway, so 2 main accusers. The prosecution will focus on 2 main accusers: Kashi Ventura, the one I just shown you before, and a woman called Jane. Yeah. Colm converts 2 of these women into freak-offs that will last days and took place across the country. Days of fucking man. Good lord. This guy's a proper freak, man. Someone needs to do a song, Freak Off, man. Oh my, that's gonna be my first song, Freak Off. The Diddy Freak Off. Do you know what I mean? The Diddy Freak Off, man. Basically, so it says Ventura met him in 2006 when she was 19 and a model and aspiring singer with a hit song. He was 17 years older than her. They began dating within a year of her signing to his Bad Boy label. They dated on and off until 2018. It basically says the prosecution said he repeatedly physically abused her. We've seen that. He admits that anyway. He threw her to the floor in the SUV, stomped repeatedly on her face. And another instance, Colm learned that Ventura was seeing another man. He beat her, brutally kicked her in the back and flung her around like a rag doll. He beat her for small slights, such as when she didn't answer the phone and when she took too long in the bathroom. And further, Johnson describes the incident in where Colm allegedly made a male sex worker urinate in her mouth, making her feel like she was choking. If Kathy didn't do what the defendant wanted, the consequences would be severe. Oh my god, man, this guy's such a freak. He uses power and control over her to do his bidding in those dark hotel rooms. Then it says the main, this is going on for long. Like, how long have I been going for now? You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to close it now because I'm going on too long.